everybody, welcome back to my garden. Today is July 12th and I'm finally getting some time to do the rest of my garden tours, and I guess Benelli's gonna do it with me. So I wanted to focus on the backyard and at least the back porch today, and I'll see how far it goes before it rains, which I'm hoping comes. So let's get started, and there's a lot of pretty things to see. So before I get started, here's another look at the vegetable garden. In just a week, it just looks different. And look at the butterfly. I could just look at this forever. Oh, so pretty. Anyways, so the other day I showed my pineapples. Those are doing really good. This is a pot of, it's a canna. And so I just left those in there. I don't know where I want to put it, so it's just here. I don't remember what I planted. I think it might be tromboncino squash. I don't think it's a Seminole pumpkin. So anyways, when I figure out what that is, I will let you know. But I know it's something that vines, because that's why I would have planted it on the fence line. So I do need to come and thin those out. I have some more pineapples. This is my elderberry, which was doing really well and it was super big. And then my dog was chasing a squirrel and she broke out the entire center of the tree. So it's got plenty of new growth on it. Elderberry grows really fast. I think it's compensating for what it's lost in the other branches. So, but this has yet to flower for me. So we will see how it goes. Over here, the native creeping sage is really taking over now that we've gotten some rain. Look, there's so random. It's a jaw of something. I don't even know. Don't ask. Some kind of animal. Look, there's the other skull. But trust me that they're animal skulls and I collect them randomly and it's not weird. I just leave them for, bugs and things. Anyways, moving on. So here I have a pigeon pea. This is getting quite large. And then this is my one world milkweed. So my neighbors were having some lawn care done, so I decided to come over to the other side where it's quieter until they're done. So starting at my daughter's window, that purple salvia, blue salvia they say, is huge now. The pollinators love it. They're always on here, big bumblebees usually. And then we have the native Simpson stopper. It's a dwarf Simpson stopper. So it still should get about 6 feet in the end, but for now it is topping out at like 2.5 feet. I did cut off this long top. It was shooting a offshoot. It was like another 18 inches, I swear. But I cut that off because it just looked very odd. There's my leaf bin, which is being camouflaged by a sweet potato vine. So at the end of the season, I should have surprise sweet potatoes all down in here, which will be nice. That's the compost bin, nothing special with that. This area, I have a pile of wood chips. It's been so hot, I have yet to finish getting those put out, but that's okay. And it probably will, not solarize, but just kill the grass here. So more than likely, I'll be making this flower bed bigger, because why wouldn't you make the flower bed bigger if you kill your grass? It just makes sense. Oh, okay, calm down. Anyways, everything here is doing good. I have this native flatwoods plum, which will bear fruit and is part of the foodscape here. I have a couple crinum lilies. I have some Everglades tomatoes kind of just weaving their way through there. Those are some papaya trees, but I don't know if they're going to really do anything. I have this big chunk of grass. Let's pull that out. Oh, geez. Oh, I just got so dirty. Hold on. Okay, well that looks better. I have another blue salvia, purple salvia mixed in with this border of longevity spinach. So this is a completely edible border. I do use it in things, smoothies a lot. I'll use it in anything that calls for cooked down spinach, and you can't really tell the difference. When it's raw, like a fresh spinach, you definitely can tell the difference because it's got like a more, I don't know, it's a weird texture, but when it's cooked down, it's very good. Over here, it's very bright on this side of the yard right now. Things are looking good. That is the firebush. I actually finally saw something using it. The hummingbirds have been on this, which is good because everyone talks about how firebush is so good for all of the different native like pollinators and such, and the birds like the berries and this later on in the year, but I have not found that that is to be true in my yard. It's that I have so many other things that they really, I don't know if they haven't found it or what, but I finally saw hummingbirds on it, which was nice. These muley grasses are getting some size to them. I have some cranberry hibiscus and this dwarf mulberry tree. So this is brand new and it's already putting on new growth. I just planted that. Let's see. This is my Meyer lemon, which is doing really well in the ground, and I'm happy I put it here instead of keeping it in the pot. I think it's going to be happy. This is, I forgot the exact name. It's either some type of senna or something, but it is a nitrogen fixer. So whenever these pop up in my garden, I leave them for a little bit because they really take all the nitrogen out of the atmosphere and it collects in their root nodules, and then later on when it gets too ugly and annoying, I'll just cut it off at the base, and actually that nitrogen will then feed the plants around it. So this key lime or Meyer lemon will actually benefit from the extra nitrogen boost from the that plant right there. Looking over here, this is my rattlesnake master plant, and it is completely covered in pollinators, like to the max. Every single inch of it, I swear, has pollinators on it. And it's all kinds, like big wasps, little wasps, polka dot wasps, bees, certain flies, you name it. It's just a really, really good plant to have, and it just looks cool. Have some more muley grass and some pigeon peas scattered in here. Like I said, those add to the foodscape because I can use them for forage and then chop and drop the stems and the leaves later on when I cut them back. The muley grass over here is doing good. Let's see, I have elderberry cuttings here, and there's one over there that looks the same. I do not know why they're not growing, because they've been in the ground for months and they look exactly the same. So I need to figure out if it's a placement thing. I don't understand. So we will figure that part out. Over there I have my witch hazel, which really hasn't done anything since I planted it. It's kind of stayed the same. I think it might have some fungus on the leaves that is normal for witch hazel plants, so I'm waiting to see once the rainy season is done and it puts energy into flower production in the winter, if it actually does produce flowers or not. So, and then new growth in the spring, so we'll see. These oak leaf hydrangeas are still doing good. Another muley grass. This oak leaf hydrangea here. Oh, in this bucket, I need to dump that out. Don't want mosquitoes. Over here, I just have the shampoo ginger. There's a brat doll, something, LOL doll, whatever those are. It's been just now raining, so the shampoo ginger is finally coming up all around the tree, not just in like a couple patches. So we'll see if I actually get the cones or not. These beautyberry bushes are huge, and I'm starting to get some color on the berries, which is always good. I'm going to try my hand at making some jam out of the berries. Yes, they are edible to us. This border is starting to look really nice, not specifically right here, but along that way. So in this I have a mixture of borage and tulsi, which is holy basil. There's some muhly grass, cranberry hibiscus, there's Thai basil, and so this is going to end up being like an edible herb perennial border in the long run. But for now I have the borage, which if it does bloom, I don't find it to be, oh look, I actually do have a bud here. I don't find it to be super reliable here in our weather for some reason, but if it does make it, I hope it self-seeds. We'll see. And I think I scattered some dill in here as well. But this border is looking really good. It's sunflowers, the holy basil, Thai basil, more muhly grass, kind of in the purple blue salvia. Oh my god, purple salvia. It's not really blue, it's purple, but it's all basically the same all the way down. And these are a branching sunflower. You can cut them and they come right back. I need to come out here and cut some more, but the bees love it. And like I said, I found some baby muhly grass seedlings that had self-seeded in a pot, so I added those in because eventually this will be, like I said, grasses and just perennial things. And I can add in some flowers when I want. There's a cranberry hibiscus there. These salvia are just the great plant for the bees, and like I said, they're perennial. And look, they have like almost the same bloom structure as basil, so it looks pretty cool. Oh, and then I added a bunch of milkweed in here too, which has been being used. This is a velvet bean, and I have a gourd plant in here. So it's really a diverse border. This is a queen lime blush zinnia. I think I saved the seeds from that last year. There's some basil, pink salvia, native. There's some dill popping up. Oh look, a dill flower. So pretty. More purple or Thai basil. This is a really pretty tall zinnia. Love the color. I also had some grains, so this is sorghum. I only see one sorghum growing up in here. But yeah, it's basically the same all the way down. My little bunny statue. Let's see, anything different. There's a random, well, there's some native frog fruit that will be fine growing up in here. There's a loofah. Here's the tiny muhly grass. That's how small it is. I'm taking reference in July. And then, yeah, so more of the same. Oh, there's a squash bug. Sorry, I'm gonna kill it. Okay, all done. More basil, more pink salvia, and that has spread. That's what all of this is more pink salvia. So I'll have plenty of transplants, or I'll just let it keep flowering and sowing in place. This is another dwarf mulberry. There's a Florida rose tucked in back there. I plan on moving, but it's too hot to transplant stuff. And all of this is dotted horse mint. So it's all self-sown. It's beautiful. And I do have some of it starting to color up, which these are actually called bracts. They're not real flowers, so they just kind of evolve. Like the top of this will just turn into a bract, basically. And this is a great pollinator plant for big wasps and bumblebees and carpenter bees. They love it. So that is a lot what's going on in here, and like some milkweed. Another, I think that's a squash bug. I don't like to kill stuff unless I'm 100% sure, but whatever, just go. And so yeah, so I will have to be right back because I have to go back into work, but I will come back and finish the other half of this. Okay, I am back, and it has not rained yet. The sky's a big fat liar. Anyways, so over here, this is a milkweed about to bloom. And this is a starry rosinweed, which is a native, it looks like a sunflower kind of. I think it might be in the same family, but either way, it's a tall yellow flower. This is native Stokes aster. I don't know if these are seeds or not yet, but it was in bloom a little bit ago. Super pretty purple. It's gone to seed now. I'm just gonna let that spread in this area and hopefully divide it. Let's see. Everything else you'll see just in this little bit of time, since like it's been like an hour and a half. This is wilted, and this gets watered every day, and it rained for a good portion of the whole day yesterday, and it's still wilted because this is a new plant and it needs like constant moisture at first, but it's okay. I'll probably run the drip, maybe. If not, they'll perk back up later. But those are the blue salvia. There's more milkweed back there, much of the same. And the coreopsis was in here pretty thick. I took some of it out. It started to get mildewed, but it did go to seed. So basically I just scatter the seeds, you know, kind of all through here. Look at this big weed. What is this, crabgrass they call it? Throw that out. And then over here I have the Tulsi or holy basil. Some grass growing up in here. I have some yarrow growing here. That's brand new for this year. And I had, if you look here, the stalks left from my aquatic milkweed, which something ate all of, which would be the monarch caterpillars. And then in this is my swamp pot. The brown savory is coming back. It's a native ground cover wildflower. And then there's more of the aquatic milkweed. It's super pretty. So in here, this is where I left off when it was super loud. You'll see the creeping sage is creating a ground cover all through here. I have the purple muley grass with the beautyberry. These are another type of goldenrod. So I have the pine barren goldenrod, which has a much like coarser, thicker leaf, and it blooms in the fall. This, I think it's early goldenrod, and it blooms in the summer. I pulled the seeds from another property that we have, and I scattered them in this yard. So these will all be blooming soon. I have, hopefully, you can see this down here. This is the native columbine. It is that hopefully will spread in this area. I have some more in the front yard. I have more of the dotted horse mint. So this kind of just takes over where it wants. More muley grass, more of the, what do you call it? Goldenrod. This is a little native grass that I might dig up from here. It kind of gets lost in this area, but it's called a piney woods drop seed. You can't really tell it's even there, but it is a native grass. And then we end over here with the Simpson stopper and the beautyberry. And then I'm starting to get more passion flower vines popping up, but they do not last very long in my yard because of the caterpillars. And I've seen them all around them this morning, so I know they're probably going to be eaten pretty soon down to the ground. But they have spread pretty well in this area, so maybe we'll get some that don't get eaten. So coming up here, I have my lemongrass. These are my purple hyacinth beans, which have not produced a flower yet, which is the reason why I grew them. If I wanted just a vine, I would have grown any other type of bean, but I did want to see what the flower was like, so maybe we'll get some flowers soon. They're supposed to be pretty pink fuchsia type flowers, but the vine itself is very vigorous. And in here, I took out all the cosmos, and I have all of this native goldenrod growing up in here. This is the early, or whatever, I don't know the exact name, but I think it's called early goldenrod. Excuse me, it's a Florida native. And then I have the Seminole pumpkins growing. The goal is for them to take over this whole bed, the Seminole pumpkins. I just seeded a few more pumpkins the other day, but I don't see them popping up in here. The ones that I seeded in that far bed over there did pop up. Let's see. I don't see it, but yeah, there's Seminole pumpkins, ginger, and kind of just an array of things. I don't see any of the pumpkins. It's okay. There's probably, they have a few more days to pop up before I consider it not working. Over here I have my green stalk. I'm about to have to redo all of these planters. The heat is getting to them, but there are a lot of things doing very well, like the mint. The chamomile is surprisingly doing well in this heat. I actually have my first little chamomile flower. I think I overplanted them in these, but oh yeah, see, like this is like 3 plants. I need to thin them out, but whatever. I have basil growing in here, thyme. This actually looks like a lemongrass. I think that's a lemongrass. Yeah, so basil, thyme. The thyme is doing really well. These are all grown from seed. Everything in this is from seed. This nasturtium probably, I mean, I would pull it out, but it might flower later on. That's what happens usually here. I'll have a nasturtium that does really well, or grows really well, and then all of a sudden it'll bloom later on in the year. This is a Malabar spinach. Look how long it is. And then, let's see, there's more basil, more thyme in this pot. This basil keeps trying to go to flower. Probably will let it soon. There's some random clover in here. I have cannas growing in here. The grass is sprouting from the hay, or the straw that I put in here. These are some purple alyssum. I just left that in there. And then, so I have some tomato seedlings and some pepper seedlings in here. This seems to be like a good spot to keep the sun hitting them the right amount, but not drying out the pots. So I'm leaving them up here. My rice experiment for this year totally failed. Not really sure what happened, but every single pot of them looked like just a bunch of dead grass. Literally, this is what it is. I just took it out and threw all the biomass. Oh, there's a piece of glass. Threw all the biomass down here. Oh, look. I covered up the pumpkin. So there's a pumpkin seedling. I didn't remember where I planted it. So I'm gonna probably reseed them. It's probably because our heat and no water has led to them just relying on me to water it, and sometimes you have to let stuff go when it's in a drought, and that was one of the things I just really didn't care about. Otherwise, everything is okay. This needs a whole new revamp because somehow I have one strawberry left. That's it. One. Out of this whole thing, I had like 20 strawberries. There might be some life left in some of this, but that was another thing that, you know what, I failed. It is what it is. I can't keep everything super happy. Some things are gonna perish. So that was what definitely happened here. This is my beast of my fire pit bed. It is completely taken over with my railroad vine. It is blooming its head off. So many things love it, from pollinators to the hummingbirds. I do need to come in here and cut out the center. That way we can sit in here with our chairs, because it just looks like a sea of green right now. And then I have my fig tree has got some figs on it. I had to cut this guy all the way back because of spider mites, so I'm happy with at least what it's got going on now. Not too many. There's only like 5 figs on it, but I'm okay with that. And then I think it's Asiatic jasmine is blooming again. I cut it back after the first flush, and it's got blooms all over it. Once again, this is the heirloom plant. It's an actual cutting from my grandma's wedding present, so it's very special to me. There's a rice pot that I took out. This pepper is starting to produce, and I have a little tomato. It's crazy how little things find tiny plants. That was like leaf miners in that tomato plant, and it's like an inch tall. And then another pot of basil. This pot of basil has given me more basil than I know what to do with, so I just keep cutting it and it keeps coming. And then finally over here is the other fig that I also had to cut all the way back because of spider mites. So it's just now recovering. But anyways, well, my phone shut off for like the 3rd time making this video, so that is going to do it for this. Up next, I will do the front yard, and hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good night.